What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be reacting to Brian Schottenheimer's day 3 of training camp press conference, where he's going to be addressing all the fights and his heavy-handed message that he sent to his team yesterday, along with revealing some other interesting tidbits about training camp thus far. Let's get right into it, and be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content on the regular and the best training camp coverage out. Shut your up. All right, let's jump right into this mug, y'all. Y'all already know these reactions be kind of long, so put proper feet up, get comfortable. You won't have to hit that dial for a minute. Let's get into it, bro.
I'm doing great. Day 3, getting 3 days in a row is awesome.
Well, Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. What were your thoughts on the shenanigans at practice yesterday?
Did you guys hear what I said?
We heard you.
No, here's the deal. I definitely will not. My wife was already on me last night about a few things I said.
No, don't be on them. Don't be on them, Miss Schotty. Mrs. Schotty, we love the intensity. Mrs. Schotty, we love the intensity. Don't neuter our guy. Please don't neuter our guy, Mrs. Schotty. Mrs. Schotty, please don't neuter our guy. Let Brian be Brian, please. Please, please, please.
You know, I love the intensity. These guys are working their asses off. I love that. But again, like we've talked about, there's a tempo that we discuss every day. We've talked about it multiple times. There's going to be those events that happen during a game. If you throw a punch, you're getting kicked out of the game. And along with that, you're getting fined about $45,000. So do we have the discipline to, when those things happen, not only not throw a punch, but sometimes it's better to go and grab your own guy.
And yeah, I just sped it up, y'all.
Player.
I just sped it up because I'm just for y'all. I know y'all got the attention span of a baby gnat, so I sped it up a little.
For your brother and pull him out of the fray so he doesn't do anything messed up. But I love the way they're practicing, but it went too far. And I had warned him before, and I've made it very clear. We're not throwing punches. If you throw a punch, there's going to be a consequence, just like in a game, and you're out of practice. So.
I like that, bro. I like that. Make the stakes in practice similar to the stakes that would be there in the game. If you get like that and get rowdy and stuff in the game, the referees is going to throw your ass out. So as the head coach, this is how you make your guys actually be properly prepared for game time situations. Love it.
Too happy with the second practice better? To your liking outside of the fight?
Yeah, we talked about that. I thought the energy in the second practice was excellent. I thought the running was the standard that we're looking for.
Okay.
They ran, which was really great to see, but it was clearly different. So is that part of the ramp up? Is that them kind of getting their legs up underneath them a little bit? But again, we show the good, we show the bad. We talk about that, and we make it very clear to them, hey, this was successful, this wasn't, this was to the standard, this wasn't, and yesterday was much better.
The LLS Cowboys, is that a fine line? Because you said earlier you want a physical ass camp, and you got to compete every day, and guys are competing with jobs and roles, and you want the intensity just to win not to cross the line. Is that what you're talking to them about?
Yeah, and again, like we teach it, as we're looking at this, Clarence, like yesterday we were in helmets. So when you're in helmets, you're a little bit smarter. You want to be smarter because if the guys fall and things like that, right, you worry about guys just falling on shoulders and things like that.
Right.
Sometimes it's going to happen. Like we were running a game yesterday in one of the team periods, and it was a TE game, and the lineman was blocking the guy, and they kind of stumbled into each other. That happens. Today we'll have the soft spiders on. We'll have the shells. So you'll see it turn up even a little bit more.
Okay.
The receivers and DBs will be a little bit more combative. We call
Stay
it play the
tuned.
ball live. You know, we call
Stay
it
tuned to the
busted
channel.
triangle
Be
on
sure to
defense.
subscribe.
But these guys have been amazing. Anything we've asked, they've done. And the excitement and the buildup of wanting to be in pads, like they've been practicing for a while. And I love that competitive nature. It just can't get into where we're throwing punches and hitting people and things like that.
Yeah. Discipline. Controlled rage. Controlled rage.
But it looks like every coach goes to every player. What's the reason behind that?
So if you watch it, it's what we try to do is it's a brotherhood, it's a fellowship. When we do the stretch, offensive coaches go to the defensive players, defensive coaches go to the offensive players, and they get a chance to visit and talk a little bit of shit, have some fun, but connect. And again, we're all in this thing together. It's going to take all 90 guys and all 24 staff members that we have, and that is done on purpose. The other thing you'll see is everybody touches the ball. We're all about the ball, so it doesn't matter whether it's the O-line, the D-line, the receivers. When they're coming back from the second part of the stretch, everybody's catching the ball and having to secure it. Why? Because at some point they're all going to be touching the ball in the course of a game, and we want them comfortable with that. So there's ways to get through stretch and have multiple things done, and that's what we're trying to do.
And a lot of y'all looking at this stuff is like, oh, this is just corny rah-rah coach stuff. Bro, this is psychological warfare that Brian Schottenheimer is waging on this Dallas Cowboys team. Psychological warfare. And this is the type of edge that you want your head coach is giving you in any sports. The psychological edge is the biggest edge that a head coach can give you in sports. So if a head coach is doing something that's going to make your body instinctively react to certain situations a certain way, that is a benefit, bro. I love this stuff. I really, really hope that all of this translates on the field, bro, so that everything that makes sense can continue to make sense. You see what I'm saying? Everything that he's doing that makes sense as to why he's doing it, the methodology, the reason behind it. I hope that the results prove out the process, because I love what Schotty got going, man.
A second ago, can you explain bust the triangle? Like, what's the coaching point there?
Yeah, so when a receiver extends to make the play, right, what's the triangle. When you put your hands together, that's the triangle. So if you're throwing me a ball, that's the triangle. What the DB's taught is he's playing the defender, the man, and once the ball starts to go and the receiver starts to raise his hands, his job is to bust the triangle, break up the hands, because if my hands aren't together, then obviously I can't hold on to the football. So it's a very specific coaching point that you'll see our guys, D.A. and Andre Curtis, do a great job of teaching that. And there was a great clip yesterday with the Booth on Pickens. That was busting the triangle. Now, he wasn't supposed to do that yesterday because we were in helmets, but today all that stuff is good, and great example of what bust the triangle is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't even realize that was Andrew Booth that contested that catch that GP dropped on the sideline that he ended up getting hurt a little bit from, or cramped up from, I should say. He didn't get hurt. He cramped up. Damn. All right, Andrew Booth. All right, Ray Gunn.
Yeah, I think it was just a cramp. But again, like I said yesterday, with all the injuries, I leave this deal and I go talk to the guys. I kind of know what the practice is. It's 3 days in a row, so we'll see. I'll have a lot more information, but it appeared to be just a cramp.
Do you expect Ron Bland to be back today?
I don't think so. He's dealing with a personal issue with his wife, getting ready to have a baby, and so obviously excited and praying. All great wishes for me.
Talking about Deron Bland. That's why the DB
family
hasn't been there.
When you look at this running back situation, it's just kind of like how you're building a roster. Do you see an offense where you have to have two backs philosophy-wise for these guys to be fresh throughout a game? Or do you even see a scenario where you have three backs that you also fresh?
Yeah, again, we probably played too much into this last year. Of course, I'm talking about myself and Mike in terms of running back by committee. And, look, at the end of the day, it's early. If we have a guy that clearly wins the starting job, then he'll be the starting guy. Is he the bell cow? Like, there's all these cool words that go with, oh, he's a bell cow, or he's the man, he's the stud,
question,
or whatever.
Nick.
Let's let
Great
these guys
question,
compete.
Nick.
And it does take more than one. It usually takes more than two. You talk about, Hunter Lepke. Is he one of the two? Well, shit, he plays a bunch of.
I keep telling y'all gonna learn to listen to AOC, man. I keep telling y'all, Schotty love Hunter Lepke, bro. That dude has a roster spot.
Really like the young guys that we drafted. I talked about Jaden the other day, Phil Maffa. I just didn't see him in the spring, and now I'm seeing him. I really like what I see. He's doing a great.
What did I tell y'all? Look at who all he's naming and who he's not.
Great job. So we're not ready. We're a long ways away, and I love that you asked the question, but we're a long way from knowing what this is going to look like. And in a
didn't bring up Deuce yet.
2-game season, whatever it ends up looking like, you're going to need all those bodies.
Wildcat yesterday had Mike Parsons come up to you
Yeah, Micah, about Wildcat, well, I can't tell you guys who the Wildcat quarterback is. What if it was Beebe? Maybe it was Cooper Beebe that wanted it. I mean, he is a Wildcat, Kansas State. I think Philly's drawing that up. Coach Fangio's drawing that up with Cooper Beebe back there and Dak snapping it to him. We're not doing that, Vic. Don't worry about it.
I like this, Schotty.
Cowboys.com. It seems like even going back to OTAs, Tyre Elam's kind of been all over the place and making plays. With the amount of injuries that you guys have at the cornerback position, how welcome has that been, to have him seemingly getting more comfortable in a fresh start?
This is good stuff.
Confident, man. He's playing with a lot of confidence. You watch him.
I actually really enjoy listening to Schotty do his press conferences. This is really good stuff.
Just the way he's reading splits. He plays the game the right way. He studies. He's on top of splits awareness and relating to receivers based on their split. If a guy's outside and he's like 4 yards outside, he moves inside, and all things that a veteran player do, which Kayer's not young, but again, he hasn't played for 10 years. So I just think he's playing with a ton of confidence. He's getting his hands on the ball. Great interception yesterday. So I think he's playing with a lot of confidence. He's playing at a high level, and of course that's good for us. We've known about Kyer for a while. He's a Gator. I mean, I've known about him for a while. I know his dad, and so I'm really excited for him. But again, it's picking up. We got pads coming on, and so so far it's been great.
Well scouted. That means they knew exactly what they were getting in Kyer Elam. Schotty always has a plan, y'all.
Certainly the guy didn't like the blitz very much. You kind of look at his blitz rates over the years, they've kind of increased. Have you seen like an Andy Lewis that's kind of embracing more blitz? I saw a couple yesterday. Have you seen a change in his maybe when you went up against him in Indy?
Well, we had to move the ball period yesterday, call period, and he definitely adopted that. I was talking to Dorsey. I was like, damn, is he blitzing us every play? And they've got some really good things in. I think what Flus, his belief is, which I agree with, if you can get home with 4, that's great. if you're struggling to get home with 4, or if teams are trying to max protect, which we're going to get a lot of chip help on the edges to try to knock it, then blitzes become more important. So there's no question in my mind that we've got the balance that we can go attack people with 4-man rush and not have to bring an extra rusher. But we also have some exotics that have been extremely difficult for us to pick up, and again, he'll dial them up at the right time.
But how is just the chess match been between you guys so far, even just a couple practices in? How important is it to be organic in that regard, even now?
It's been awesome. Again, I have a ton of respect, not just for Matt, but his whole staff. And, Andre Curtis and I, we go back to Seattle together, and, it's fun. I think I'm starting to see, you guys will begin to continue to see just what a great staff we put together. I mean, honestly, I'm not just standing up here saying.
No, real talk. I don't know how you just starting to see that, Schotty, because my ugly ass seen it when y'all put it together. I was like, y'all cooking.
Coaching staff in terms of the way they teach, the way they demand, the way they
They're
are
all
on the field.
clear.
You watch our individual drills.
What did I say? What did I say about the coaching staff? I said they are all teachers. They're all master teachers. They're all developers of players.
You see these guys, man. They are experts at the game of football, and you can get a lot out of that stuff. And when we get into the individual periods, which your individual periods will be a little bit longer today, that emphasis, man, for fundamentals, it makes a difference. Because if you take 2 evenly matched players, is what I believe, if you take 2 evenly matched players and in a 65-round game, 65-play game, the guy that's got the better foundation of fundamentals will probably come out on top because he's got more answers and more solutions based on how the guy wants to play them.
Hey, Coach, Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Granted, the pads aren't on just yet, but you talk about a player like Ezraku, who had a great day yesterday. He's moving in multiple spots. Can you just talk about how
Love Donovan
he
Ezraku
to be such a technician in his pass rush and how that will allow versatility with what Eberflus does?
Yeah. How'd you guys know he had a good day? It jumped off the field, right? You guys are like, oh, there he is again. There he is again. There's that man again. The timing of his footwork for a rookie, the ability to take 2 steps and up and under is dynamic. His pass rush adjustments and how he can react off of how a guy plays him, whether you use an inside hand or an outside hand punch, is impressive. We're seeing what we loved about him on film. And he just, the speed and the effortlessness that is really good.
Yo, we just got, oh my God, bro. We just got a demon on the side of Mike.
He's more than just a one-trick pony that's a pass rusher, man. He can set the edge with that length that he has. And, having a really good camp.
Coach, this is a little bit far afield, but please go here with me if you would. Did you happen to see what Scotty Scheffler said last week, his comments about perspective on his sport and how he views his place in golf and what winning means to him? And if you did, your family's been around this game so long, I'm curious about what you thought about it and how it translates to how you go about football.
Yeah, it would suck if I said no, right? But I actually did. I mean, it would suck to be like, okay, yeah, I didn't, so let me help you out, number one. I did. Somebody sent it to me because we're always looking for things to show the team. I think he was being vulnerable, which is great, and there's times like that. There's times when you go and you play incredibly tough game and you win it, and maybe it's a short week, and you're just like, great win. You call the guys up, you're talking to them, you're like, hell of a job, and then you get on the plane or the bus, you get in your car to go home, and you're like, damn, I got to go back and do this again. But what I feel is when you're doing it with people you love, and the biggest difference I would say to you is he plays a individual sport. We don't. So good times, bad times, I can put my arm around CeeDee Lamb and give him a hug. I can put my arm around Micah. I can be with Malik Hooker and cry with Malik and just be like, man, that was hard. Or just, hold up a player that's exhausted after a double overtime game or whatever it is. I think that's the difference with what we do. We play a team sport. And that's why, again, the culture and the connection is so important.
He gave a pretty candid press conference yesterday. One of the things I thought was really insightful that he talked about was that he likes hanging around the defensive guys a lot because he's a physical wide receiver. I'm curious if you've seen the impact in just his style of play and the fact that he likes to be around those defensive guys so much.
Yeah, actually, the first play of the move the ball period, I actually called a play that was for CD, and I looked in the huddle and CD wasn't in there. And I was like looking over, and he was with some of the defensive guys. And then when he found out what the play was, he was like, no, I'll go. I was like, nope, you missed your chance. Again, we want that competitive spirit. We want them having fun. We want them going out there and doing it. But I will say this, and I said it to the team today, when your best players practice the way CeeDee Lamb does, it sets the precedence of how important it is. And the way he practiced yesterday lifts the spirits of everybody else, but it makes it that's the standard.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, it jumps off. It jumps off the
in
tape,
terms of him and how much fun he's having. I know he's thrilled to be back, but when he practices like that, it usually is going to be a pretty good practice.
Yeah. It jumps off video. You can see it. The energy that he has at practices.
Okay.
He moves different.
At least from my hearing, doesn't sound like he's doing the here we go pre-snap. Has that been a intentional change?
He said he was going to change that.
If it is a change, how did that happen?
So You guys asked me this in the spring. I think I was misquoted,
Yep.
honestly. I said that we always tweak our cadence. But for those here we go lovers out there, there'll be some here we goes. But there'll also be some maybe things that it's not used. So, but I mean, why would we take it away when it's got TikTok memes and stuff like that? Like, why would we change it? But we always adjust it a little bit. And so the faithful here we go people, he does say here we go at times, and at times he doesn't.
I love this
Just to give you
dude, and I know Jerry love this dude too, bro. I love Schotty, bro. He's a brand awareness. He's showing you everything. Shotty's showing you his full bag in his interview.
For the advantage,
right
you know, it's the biggest
Ball
thing is
knowledge,
for
brand
your opponents in the
awareness,
division, but also every defensive line coach in the league. They
that
listen to audio of, you know, it's legal, unlegal, you know, but they all listen to it, so they get on to cadence rhythms and things like that. And so Dak's cadence is incredible. Not just the here we go part. I think you saw us get a free play yesterday where he got him to jump and we threw a ball to Terp. It's one of the best things that he does, man. And so we're going to let him do that. And but like everything we do, we're going to be multiple.
Brad Sham, 105.3 The Fan. I'm thinking about your reactions to the fracases. And I don't think this is terribly premature. I think that this team's been among the most heavily penalized teams in the league through the last 3 years, at least as a head coach. Bill Parcells once famously said, I don't coach penalties, but head coaches have all different approaches. What's going to be your approach to penalties?
That's a great question, Brad.
Great question.
Yeah. That was from center field. We've had right field, left field. That's from center field.
Today, bro.
Here's what I would say.
Walker,
There's
Nick Harris,
all types of penalties.
Brad Sham, excellent
right?
question.
There's pre-snap penalties, self-inflicted wound penalties where you jump off sides, you false start, legal motion, whatever it is, shaving. Those are unacceptable because we control those. There's going to be combative penalties that are going to happen. You know, a guy's going to get kind of edge and he's going to not want to because he's trying to come off the block. He maybe grabs or restricts the guy a little bit. That's going to happen. I do believe that being the most penalized team in the league is not a good thing.
Not at all.
I don't condone that. I think we have more discipline. We'll have more discipline than that.
Yes.
And that's going to be coached. And so you got to coach these guys, make sure they understand the rules. But penalties happen, and they're going to happen. There's going to be flags. But the ones that we can control, which are the pre-snap ones and the self-discipline ones, we need to control those and keep those to a minimum.
Dallas Cowboys media. I've seen Luke Schoonmaker take a lot of first-team reps in 12 personnel looks, something that we didn't see much of last year. Where have you seen Luke grow this offseason the most, and what's your confidence level in him taking on a bigger role this year?
I'm going to say this really to all you guys. I mean, it's not like I've sat up here and been a head coach very long. You guys ask great questions, and you notice things, whether it's Kyer or whatever. Luke Schoonmaker's having a terrific camp. 2 days in, but he had a terrific offseason. He's moving great. His confidence is at all-time high. Actually, I was walking out to walk through, or walking through one of the meetings with him and talking to him in one of the meetings, and I was asking him, you know, what feels different? He's like, my body feels great based on the way he trained and the way he prepped, and he spent a lot of time at Sports Academy in Frisco, and I'm telling you, these young players, they figure it out, and I think you're seeing a guy that is beginning to figure it out, but he's doing awesome. He didn't even get the ball. He ran a little in-cut, little 12-yard in-cut, and was being matched by a corner and kind of dropped him yesterday. He didn't get the ball, but like, I mean, it jumped off the film. It was like, whoa. That was awesome. And it's because, you know, he feels good and his confidence is high. But again, thank you guys for noticing the guys that are doing good things.
Schotty revealing some secret weapons out here.
You got into this a little bit a minute ago, but back to Dak. Since you've been working around him and working with him, in which areas has he improved most in your opinion?
Well, there's some things I would say that I'm noticing with him.
Great
we talked a little bit about playing under center. You know, that's been a little new for him, Deuce, when you talk about that. Not new for him, he's done it. All these guys play under center. Maybe not in college anymore, but a few teams. But probably just the footwork training from under center. We're trying to do some things with him. I'm not going to get into all the specifics of, you know, some of the things we're doing in the shotgun and things like that. But this guy's a perfectionist, man. And for a guy that's had the accomplishments and done the things he's done, he reminds me so much of being around Andrew Luck, a guy that's had great success, but he's willing to try anything you throw his way. And, hey, coach me hard. I want that. Yeah, I can do that. Let me show you I can do that. So I think it's that willingness and that hunger to, hey, challenge me, coach. Challenge me to do different things, Schotty and Steve Shimko. And I think that's important because as you get up there in age, you know, sometimes guys feel like they kind of know everything and they don't want to really be coached. And I haven't had many of those guys in my career because I don't get along very well with those guys. But he's not like that at all. It's been he's a joy to coach.
Coach Doyle, when you kind of look at the NFC East, it's been one of the most competitive divisions for the last 20 years, something like that. You know, when you look at the landscape this year with obviously two of the representatives in the NFC Championship game coming back into it, making some key improvements, what do you kind of make of what that division is kind of shaping up to be wise, competitive-wise this year?
Well, I'll steal a line from Jocko Willenick. I say good. That's what he says. Good. I mean, it's what we want, right? It's going to be a competitive division.
Yeah, it's going to be a good
And we want to play these big-time games,
Yeah,
these prime-time games against great
That
people.
was a
Why?
softball question.
Because when you get into the playoffs, if you had a easy go of it or anything like that, are you really prepared to go win a game on the road in the playoffs if you have to do that? No, you need battle scars and battle wounds and things like that. And it's a terrific division with great coaches, with tremendous talent. I think you see the fact that it's not been a repeat winner or whatever it's been over the past couple of years. It just shows you that those games are exciting, and the league's figured it out a little bit because now we're all playing our first 2 games against division opponents, and but I welcome those things, man. Like, we want those. Like, every game we play against a division opponent, whatever, it's another championship opportunity. And we don't get too high for the Eagles or the Commanders, and then we play somebody else and we take it easy. We don't do that. Every game's the same, but we know our division's extremely competitive, and it's going to be fun to compete against them.
Jack Hedrick from NBC and Fox in San Antonio. Coach mentioned Cooper Beebe earlier. What progression has you seen from him from year 1 to year 2? Specifically, how has the chemistry developed between him and Dak, and just in terms of calling out protections up front?
Yeah, again, awesome. He's way more comfortable. He's got a season under his belt, so everything is much more clear for him. And he did a really good job last year. But he and Dak now almost anticipate what they want to do. So, usually the center drives the initial ID, and then the quarterbacks can move it. But they're to the point where they work so well together now that Dak's like, I don't have to do much because he's doing a lot of it for him. I think it's been great watching the relationship between him and Clayton take off. He obviously knows, Connor Riley from their time together at Kansas State. But, Cooper just, I thought had a good year last year. Did some great things up and down like most rookie centers, but he's again another guy that's playing with tremendous confidence. But he's able to react now. And when you react as a center, you play the game. You're not up there thinking, okay, oh shit, what's the point here? I got to do this. He's just up there taking command of the offense, and that helps us play faster, which helps us get in and out of the huddle and get the ball snapped a little bit quicker.
Yeah, Tim Talishot, Dallas Morning News. I have personally noticed you signed 5 first-round picks this offseason for the defense. I don't know if anybody else picked up on that. You've talked about Elam and Murray, the 3 guys up front. Thomas, Turner, Dante Fowler's been here before. Whatever roles they play, how much are you counting on that collection of players contributing this year?
Yeah, Tim, it's really a good point. I will say this. If you look at those guys, they all have, Dante's been here. Talk about Dante. The leadership component, the experience component. We need depth. The way we're going to play, hair on fire defense, attack front. Peyton's a guy coming out of college at Houston. We loved his length, and he's been productive in New Orleans. Solomon, you guys see it every day in practice. He is the guy that sets the tempo and the tone of running in practice. And I think I said this before when we played Washington last year, man. They have DA on one side, but Dante, I mean, he was an ass kicker. And so, we were like, oh, man, what do you do? So, yeah, absolutely. We wanted to improve the depth of the roster with guys. First-round talent means we have to do what? We have to pull things out of them and figure out best ways to use them and stuff like that. But again, I've say it again. I think we have maybe the best, if not the best, defensive line coach in the country.
That right there, and people not noticing that right there is such an important point. Tim Cowlishaw, great point out, because it leads into a great point, man. You go and sign 5 guys, first-round talents on the defensive end. Okay, or on the defensive side of the ball. Okay, that's cool. Some of those guys haven't necessarily worked out. What do? These guys were graded as first-round talents at some point. That means that they have the tools, they have the toolkit. They just never put it together, right? So what do? You assemble the best coaching staff of teachers, of guys that develop players that you possibly can, because that great developers mixed with guys with a ton of potential. What can you possibly get from that? Greatness, bro. This is what I'm talking about. Everything is orchestrated, and everything has a place. Everything has a rhyme and reason for why he's doing it, and that's what I love about Brian Schottenheimer. He has a master plan for sure.
And he seems to do that wherever he's been in terms of pulling the best out of everybody.
Exactly, bro. I've been saying this all offseason.
Here for a second. Have you, in all the years you've coached, have you been around a guy as proficient outside in the slot? And what's the biggest advantage? Obviously, I know it's about lining up good spots, great mismatches, but how much of a challenge is that for him, and how many guys have you been around that have been able to do it the way he does?
The reason I looked away, I was thinking, a name doesn't pop into my mind that was as proficient at doing it, but he's done it since I remember being here as a consultant. They were able to move him around. And when you're able to move him around, it's obviously a great advantage for us, but I'm going to take it even a step further. The fact that we do that with him has helped Cavante Turpin learn. I need to learn the system and be able to be moved around, because look at them moving CD to go catch this route over here, that route over there. So Turp has learned that, and now we can move him. We're in the process of doing that with GP, where he's not just, like I said, line up at X. So there's a powerful statement when you're able to move your best player around and he's going to these different spots, because it paints a picture to these other players like, well, if I need my touches, and if they can move me around because I know the system so well that I can line up at any spot they put me,
There's a rhyme and
that
reason
is
for
really
everything.
important. And the guy that feels it the most is the guy that's throwing the football, and that's Dak. And so he's special.
Daniel Stevis, CW Dallas. Hate to put this on you, but with CD in mind, yesterday during his presser, he said he's the most excited guy to be at training camp, aside from maybe Sam Williams. Curious, in your perspective, who is more excited, and is there another candidate?
You did put that on me. CD's excited. He loves the game. When you're not, look, I've been gone for 5.5 weeks from these guys, and I missed them. I missed every single one of them. And so I think, he's that way. He's ready to work. He's excited about what we've done, the pieces we've added on offense, defense, bringing in GP. But I'm not going to pick. But
Right,
Sam,
what the
based
hell?
off what he's had to go through and the excitement that first day in pads, I mean, you literally might see him foaming at the mouth. He's going to be so excited to be out there and put the pads on.
I
but
can't wait,
hopefully most
bruh.
of the guys we have, I think, to a man, everybody's thrilled to be here and at Oxnard and kicking off camp.
Here to the East Texas, you made a reference to your coaching staff. Young Overstreet, is he always that hype, always that just moving?
It's just annoying. Yeah, he really is annoying. When you're on offense, you're trying to call plays, right? I mean, it's so annoying, But the answer is yes. He's like that all the time. He's like that in meetings. He's like that when we're traveling. He's like that everywhere. And he's easy to find because he's always got some form of something on, tights or long sleeve shirts, and color-coded, and his shoe game's pretty legit. But, very annoying from a way that he acts. No, he's amazing. I love his juice. I love his energy. That's what we want from our coaches, man. If you can't have fun out there coaching these world-class athletes on the practice field, you need to get another job, man.
Nah, real talk.
What we get to do, we're lucky. So he definitely has juice and compliments Andre very well. The two of them work really well together. Thank you, guys.
All right. Got another excellent presser from head coach Brian Schottenheimer, man. If you don't love everything you've been hearing from Schotty, then you just don't love good coaching. You just don't love good football. You just don't love the essence of the game, bro. Because like I said, Brian Schottenheimer has a plan. He has a rhyme and reason for each and everything that he does. And I just respect the hell out of how he's handled undertaking this Cowboys job. I really do. I respect the hell out of it. And I really, really hope it all translates on the field so that way he can get the proper acknowledgement that he deserves for being able to really mastermind this thing and be as structured and organized and as calculated as every move has been. But either way, let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments below. See y'all on the next one, which should be kind of soon, because y'all already know we're going to do our training camp recap for day 3. Y'all be sure to subscribe, man, so y'all don't miss no content.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boy? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.